Good morning. It is 10 a.m. on Tuesday, May 6th, 2025. Call this meeting of the Wichita County Commissioners Court to order. If everyone would please stand, Commissioner Watts will give her invocation.
Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the wonderful rain, Father. Thank you that it replenishes our land, and we just give you praise and honor for that. Father, thank you for the many blessings you bestow on each and every one of us. We thank you and call upon you to let you know better than we do about what we need in rainfall, and we just ask you to watch over us, Father, as we go through this flooding times. Father, be with those around the world and those that are here in our county family that protect and serve us, Father. Protect them and be with them. Let your hand be over them, Father. Help us today, Father, as we come together as a board to discuss the needs of this county. Be with us, bless us, and let our decisions be pleasing to you. All these things I pray in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Please join us for the pledge to the U.S. flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the pledge to the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. All right, at this time, I'd like to ask Renee Murphy to come forward for a proclamation supporting the memorial designation of the U.S. Highway 82 overpass as the Ray Gonzalez Jr. Memorial Overpass. That's what you have. So I'm going to, as we normally do, I'm going to read the proclamation and let Ms. Murphy say a few things. She's got a special connection to the person that we're honoring this morning. So I'll read the proclamation. Whereas Ray Armendariz Gonzalez was born on May 29, 1945 in Wichita Falls, Texas, and passed away on July 27, 2021, leaving behind a legacy of service, leadership, and dedication to his community. And whereas Mr. Gonzalez honorably served his country as a member of the United States Army during the Vietnam War, where he was wounded in combat and awarded the Purple Heart, Vietnam Service Medal with 1 Bronze Service Star, Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, and National Defense Service Medal. And whereas upon returning home, Mr. Gonzalez joined his family's business, Ray's Foreign Car Service, which served customers across Texas and the United States for more than 59 years. And whereas Mr. Gonzalez dedicated himself to public service, becoming the first Hispanic mayor pro tem of Wichita Falls, and later the first Hispanic Wichita County Commissioner in 2009, a position he held until 2016. And whereas his commitment to the community extended beyond public office, as he served on numerous civic boards and organizations, including the Wichita Falls Teachers Federal Credit Union, Boys and Girls Club, Mexican American Veterans Association, and Rathkeeper House. And whereas Mr. Gonzalez received numerous accolades for his service, including Mexican American Veterans Association Veteran of the Year and Wichita County Hispanic Man of the Year. And now therefore be it resolved that the Wichita County Commissioners Court does hereby honor and recognize the life and legacy of Ray Gonzalez for his exemplary service and contributions to Wichita County and its citizens by supporting the designation of US 82 Overpass as the Ray Gonzalez Jr. Memorial Overpass. So proclaimed this the 6th day of May, 2025. We're doing this today in conjunction. The City of Wichita Falls will also be doing a resolution in support of renaming that overpass and putting up the signage. And I'll let you talk about where it is and why that matters. But we wanted to honor Mr. Gonzalez, and we wanted to do it in conjunction with our brothers and sisters over at the city. And I will turn it over to you, Renee, to talk a little bit about Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. Appreciate the opportunity to come before you. I had something written down.
Oh.
I like to make sure I cover all the points.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dad would want me to be thorough. This Commissioners Court meant a lot to my dad and his service here. He was most proud of the county work, his city work, certainly his work within Mexican American Veterans Association. So on behalf of the Gonzalez family, my mom, my brother, myself, thank you for this extraordinary honor supporting the naming of the U.S. Highway 82 South Overpass flyover after my dad. This dedication is more than a name on a sign. It's a tribute to a life well lived, a legacy of service, and a symbol of the values that my dad held dear: faith, perseverance, and community. Dad was proud to call Wichita Falls home. He loved this city, served it with everything he had, as a soldier, as a small business owner, as a public servant, and as a man of unwavering faith. Naming this overpass in front of the very Volkswagen business he and my grandfather ran for 46 years is not only fitting, but it's deeply meaningful to my family. We're especially grateful that this honor comes as Wichita Falls has been designated a Purple Heart City. Dad would be humbled to be the first Purple Heart recipient to earn this recognition, to be recognized in this way. He never sought recognition for his service or his sacrifice, but we know this moment would fill his heart with gratitude and pride. So on behalf of our family, thank you for preserving his memory in this honor in a place that represents both his life's work, the Volkswagen shop being close to the overpass, and his lasting impact on this community. We're sincerely thankful.
Thank you. Commissioners, is there anything that y'all would like to?
Well, I would not miss this opportunity. I had the pleasure of serving with Ray on this court. In fact, he and I came on this court together at the same time, so we went through all the training together. So we spent a lot of time together. And he was such a fun guy to be around. Renee, we'd be driving somewhere and he'd get telling you a story and he'd get to laughing so hard he couldn't finish it. And we'd all be laughing and I could just see him doing that too. I mean, he gets it, and we never would get to the finish of it, but we were just having a good time. What a great guy. And I enjoyed serving with him, enjoyed getting to know him. And one of the things we couldn't figure out was he's a car guy all his life. I'm a car guy all my life. We've been around the same people, and we never really got acquainted until we both came on this court. And we think that was really strange, but we all knew the same people and ran in the same circles. But one thing about Ray Gonzalez that I know for sure, he loved God, he loved his country, and he loved his family. There's no doubt. Thank you.
Challenge anyone to go after that.
It's true.
Take a picture.
I have our representatives from the Mexican Veterans Association.
Y'all come out.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good.
Howdy.
Hello,
How are you
sir.
doing?
How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good, sir.
Good to
Thank
see
you
you.
very
Good
much
to see
for
you.
this opportunity.
You bet.
Hi.
Yeah, while you're posing for that, I really ought to tell this other story. But Renee, I know more about you than Ray and I were going to training, and we had a rent car.
You mind
Back
taking
then, we'd
one
rent a
of my
car.
phones?
We drove down somewhere and had to stop, pick something up. I think we went in a Walmart. Oh, I was getting my CDL. I had to have some ammunition. Went there to get it. Ray goes, we both go in the store, and we come back out of Walmart, walked out of the other door. And neither one of us knew what kind of car we were driving. We were walking around the parking lot trying to figure it out. He said, I said, Ray, what kind of car are we? He said it was white. I said, I know it was white. We finally found it, but I said, that would not look good on the 6 o'clock news. Two new county commissioners have lost their cars. But it did happen.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Renee. We appreciate you. He was a great guy.
Thank you so much, Renee. And I know they have somewhere to be across town, so by all means,
Thank you very much.
All right, and then this time we will also do a presentation of a proclamation supporting May 2025 as National Historic Preservation Month. And I'd like to invite folks from the Wichita County Historical Commission, the City of Wichita Falls, and the North Texas Museum of North Texas History, and anyone else who's here for this proclamation.
Yeah.
Come on forward.
I love the change out of the historic pictures and posters down in around the deal. Especially, I enjoyed the one with Tom Danaher. I knew Tom, and I just really appreciated seeing that.
Well, come around here.
Yeah, great thing.
We wouldn't want to deny the cameras the ability to see the beautiful faces of these two.
Save our cameras from wear.
Whereas historic preservation endeavors to protect, conserve, and preserve buildings, places, and other artifacts of historical significance and oral histories for the benefit of present and future generations. And whereas historic preservation is relevant for communities across the nation and for Americans of all ages, walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. And whereas it is important to acknowledge and celebrate the role of history, architecture, and archaeology to our lives and contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve tangible aspects of the heritage that has shaped our region. And whereas historic preservation benefits the economy through multiple avenues, such as building restoration and rehabilitation that creates jobs, invests in our labor force, increases tax revenue, and provides a draw for tourism. And whereas the theme of National Preservation Month 2025 is harnessing the power of place, which aims to shine the spotlight on the preservation work being done to strengthen communities, breathe new life into neighborhoods, and build more connected communities. Now therefore, be it resolved that Wichita County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim May 2025 as Historic Preservation Month and call upon all residents to join their fellow citizens across the United States in recognizing and celebrating this special observance. Now I know when I need to just turn the microphone over to folks. We got a lot of folks up here who have a lot of good things to say. We'll start with Becky. And then I'll invite anyone who wants to speak to the historical preservation efforts happening in Wichita County and the city of Wichita Falls. And anything else on topic that you want to talk about?
Appreciate the recognition, appreciate the Commissioners Court in giving this honor. We wouldn't be here if we didn't believe in what we do, and we wouldn't be here if we weren't passionate about preserving our history and the whole history. The whole history of Wichita County is so rich and is so ripe with stories that haven't been told yet, and that's what keeps us going. And I will let Karen Montgomery Gagne talk about what's happening Thursday.
Thank you. Well, we'd like to invite everybody in Wichita County to join us to actually harness the power of place. It's an opportunity to come to a historic marker restoration demonstration day. We're hosting a training in partnership with many of our preservation partners, particularly with Jeremy, our director of the Museum of North Texas History. We'll have a training at 11:30, and then we will get the opportunity, pending weather, to go out and actually work on one of this series of markers on the courthouse grounds. So it's a really fun process. It's a great way to give back to your community, and it's a great way to harness improving the power of our community. So we'd like to thank you, Judge Johnson and the Commissioners Court, for allowing us to be able to work on that trio of markers that's in front of your facility.
And it's open to the public. Anyone who
It's
hears
open
about
to
it
the
wants
public.
to do it can.
And you get food.
I didn't realize that.
No. Come to the museum at 11:30. It'll be kind of a lunch and learn. We'll have a chance to have a little nosh, and then we'll learn how to refinish appropriately a Texas historic marker via Bob Brinkman, who is the head of the THC marker division.
Okay.
So it's not rocket science. It's an easy process. It takes some time, takes a little elbow grease. But when you're done and you back away and that marker is shiny and easily readable, you really have a sense of accomplishment. And the fact that we're going to focus on the three-head marker out here and hopefully the Bridwell marker, all of them are really in need of some spiffing up, and I'm so glad that we're going to do this.
Excellent. I forgot to have y'all introduce yourselves at the very beginning. Would everyone introduce
Hi,
who you
man.
are? Anyone?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hide in the back.
And I'm Christy Graham, I'm the chairperson of the Landmark Commission.
And Dawn Farrell from the Landmark Commission.
Jeremy Davis, Executive Director of the Museum of District.
Perfect.
This is Karen Gagne.
Yes.
And I'm Becky Trammell.
Would any of y'all like to say anything else?
I think we're good. It's hard to follow that.
Well, we are excited about doing this for this month. I'm excited about the events happening on Thursday.
Yeah.
I'll see you out there, and you say it can't be messed up. You haven't seen me work.
I said it wasn't rocket science. Not rocket science.
Gotcha.
They let me work on it, George. It'll be
There
okay.
is a process.
It's an easy 10-step process.
Ten.
It's a great opportunity for people to get out in the community and learn something that is an easy way to give back. It's something you can do with your family, bring a friend, bring a coworker. It's a lot of fun. It
Excellent.
helps preserve our history for
At
the next
present time,
generation.
there's over 108 markers, Texas historical markers in Wichita County. There's 4 that really need renovation that I know of. We have looked at all of them. There's others out there that could really use, if not a complete restoration like we're gonna do on these out front, they certainly could use a good wash. Doesn't take a lot to go out, take some soapy water, scrub one down.
Okay. Commissioners, anything you'd like to add?
Is there such thing as an adopt-a-marker program, like you do a highway?
No, there isn't.
Could there be?
But Karen does have supplies people can come get
Yeah.
if they're
If
interested.
you want to sign out a supply box, we have 2 supply
Oh,
wow.
boxes with all the supplies and things you will need. You just need to supply the volunteers and the,
The
We
time,
always
elbow
have
grease.
people asking for volunteer projects,
there,
so.
send them our way at the city
Yeah.
planning commission. We would love to get them involved.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you.
Y'all know my heart for history, and I certainly appreciate all y'all do to preserve our story. It's the story of every one of us, and it needs to be preserved and told to our future generations, so we don't make the same stupid mistakes over and over and over again. The good, the bad, and the ugly, so
yeah,
it's,
and
it's
these,
a,
many of these markers speak to just that. They
Yeah.
speak to the people who
the
made
pioneers.
Wichita County.
Yeah, and that's why we're going after a marker for the cemetery, which is a very untold story of pioneers that inhabited our city that probably didn't have the best of luck,
No, they didn't.
but they really made who we are. So we want to tell that story.
Yes.
I just want to say one thing. I've been involved with historic preservation since the beginning of 1997. My husband and I have taken many of our historic buildings and restored them and preserved them for the future. I've been on the Heritage Society for over 15 years, and I've been a Landmark Commission member for over 20. So we're just gonna keep going.
Thank you all.
Keep preserving.
That's it.
That's good. Well, thank y'all very much for coming here this morning, and looking forward to seeing you on Thursday. And Annette will take a picture of us. I'll do that. Karen, I just,
Karen, you hang on to this one.
you're in the
You're in
middle-ish.
the middle-ish.
Turn this way.
Oh,
Oh,
You don't push back
Oh,
if
watch
you
that.
want to.
Workers' comp, workers' comp.
There you go.
Thank
Good.
you.
thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Get back up there to make
And
more
wet,
carries.
cold for drinking my
Really
Dr.
good.
Pepper over here.
I've got an issue this afternoon.
I'm sorry. You
I'm
got
out of town, but anyway, I'll be thinking about you.
Thank you. You bet. Jeremy, thank you.
Gonna have to figure out a new setup for large groups.
We don't have a lot of room.
No, we don't.
We need a stage.
We'll get a floating platform.
Might work. Fly it, you know.
All right, so, okay. I think that's all presentations, okay. It is currently 10:19. At this time, we will open up for public comments. A reminder to everyone that comments need to be limited to 5 minutes or less, and no action can be taken on any item brought during public comment. Do we have any public comments this morning?
Judge, I'd just like to remind everybody that we still have some closed roads north of Pumpkin Center mostly. There sure took some wear over the rainfall. Be cautious even when they're open that we avoid all the pits that are out there, but we do have some that are still blocked off.
Okay.
Becky, trim light.
Oh, Becky, you have something? Come on up.
This will certainly be less than 5 minutes. Again, appreciate the opportunity to speak. Last Thursday, the Wichita County Historical Commission took a road trip to Burke Burnett, to Commissioner Fincannon's area, and visited the hopefully soon to be in the future Hot Wheels exhibit. This is one man's collection of over 100,000 die-cast cars.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, it is over 100,000 die-cast cars.
Did y'all count them?
Believe it or not, the Wichita County Archivist is working with them
Wow.
to count the cars.
They're inventorying it at all. It is.
It all has to be inventory.
Yeah.
We were provided with a wonderful lunch by the Burke Burnett Development Corporation. Travis, whose last name I can't remember. Haggard. Invited us to come, talked about the potential that is there for Burke Burnett, and showed us approximately probably 4,000 cars in that first exhibit little area that they have set up.
Right.
And then, for those of you who know Burke Burnett, there was a former Wolf Ford dealership that was out on Shepherd Access. And back in the service area, I will not attempt to count the number of boxed cars
Wow.
in there. I would encourage you to watch the media, watch the newspaper, watch and follow this. I think this is really has the potential to be a destination kind of place. They're
Absolutely.
looking at buildings in downtown Burke Burnett, not out on the periphery, but downtown, which I think is wonderful, to work on revitalization. It's really neat. I wanted to talk about that just because it's something so different, and like I said, the potential for a destination visiting place. And I'm monetary enough to know that if you get people to pull off the interstate, you got a potential head in a bed, and you got somebody eating at your restaurants, you got somebody shopping in your local shops. So I'm all for this.
I think it's a unique draw, unique attraction, because anyone
Yes.
my age played with
Oh
them.
my
So it's
gosh,
nostalgia,
yes.
it
Yeah.
is American history, it is transportation. It checks so many boxes.
It
And
does.
people yearn for that nostalgia, so they come to places to see that kind of thing.
It does, and I'm really happy that they're doing it the right way. It's not just, well, let's open all of them up and throw them up here.
Yeah.
They are working with a museum consultant on the development. They're working on a good foundation of an organization and how that organization will interface with the city and with the overall community. I think there is such good potential there for the whole area. I mean, any museum in our area will bring people. Museum of North Texas History, the museum that they're working on, hopefully someday in Electra, Iowa Park. Let's have this. Let's celebrate the history of this great place, and let's celebrate this guy who collected over 100,000 die-cast cars. My gosh. Anyway, thank y'all very much.
Does he
Anything?
have a,
I would-
oh, never mind.
What? What?
I would like to
He's
speak.
got it.
I would like to add a little bit to that. All the commissioners here and the judge, you are being invited this month over to their first type fundraiser event they will be doing. They're going to be doing that to the public also. They're going to be doing some, this is part of the whole setting up for the museum, but they're going to do some fundraisers where people can come over and donate money and buy a particular car, and there will be races and there will be trophies and stuff given out for the winners of those races. It's and you'll not be racing with cars that are in the collection. You'll be racing with you'll be given a new car that you can take with you, I'm sure. But just so you know, right now the Guinness Book of World Records is in the 30,000 range of the biggest collection, and this one is probably going to be 100, and it'll be at least 100,000. They have, like I said, they've been inventory on them now for probably 2 months.
Oh, longer. They have been.
I mean, just the inventory. We've been trying to get them out of his property and put them in our property for a long time. We finally got all that done. Now we're inventorying it. It is a huge process. When you have to use the archivist to do the inventory, it's pretty detailed.
And to me, that speaks to wanting to do it right,
Right.
Yeah.
and not just let's throw them up here. It's
And they
wanting to
have
do it
already
right.
targeted a building downtown that they're hopeful that they might get in the future, but they have such a collection that this museum will be able to change displays quite often, because right now they've probably got a room the size bigger than this room, and it's only got 4,000 cars in it, and it looks completely full. So you think 100 to 120,000 cars, that's a lot of cars.
Wow.
There's a lot. And it's not just the cars, it's the ancillary little things that you got along with them.
Right.
It's the racetrack. It's the specialized, they had, okay, y'all remember Don Prudhomme?
Yeah.
The Snake and the other guy whose name I can't remember. Special Hot Wheels cars that were made just for the Snake and the Mongoose. I can't remember the guy's name. But anyway, thank you, car guy. Anyway, like I said, I wanted to speak that we did the road trip, we enjoyed it, and we will be working with them in whatever way we can to help it. Thank y'all very much.
Cool thing about Hot Wheels, it's the one thing in our life that inflation hasn't eaten up. You can still go buy a Hot Wheel for about $1.25.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
As of today.
as of today, as of today.
I want to have one more thing. So.
I've got to check the inventory list and make sure, because about 15 or so years ago, Hot Wheels made a commemorative car commemorating the Vernon Cruise in Vernon,
Oh, wow.
Texas. And it just happens to look identical to my street rod. And when I was in Denver, I never saw them sold here. I was in Denver, Colorado, and found them, bought a whole case of them. So I want to make sure there's one in there, and I'll make sure he gets one of them. But it's got the history of the cruise on the back of the box and all that.
There's a car that Ted Quaz has, I bet he's got that one.
But I never saw them sold here. That's what kind of got me going. I bought a whole bunch of them while we had them, because I thought, I'll never get this opportunity again, so.
Thank y'all.
Becky, thank you.
Thank you, Becky.
Commissioner Fincan, you said you had something.
And I'm going to jump back on what Jeff was saying about roads and closures. Precinct 2 still has some road closures going on. We also have some bridges and asphalt that were washed out over this last flooding. Yesterday, we did close down Holman Road, just on the north side of Burke Burnett. There's been a mudslide, a giveaway of the soil, but we have a road that's cracked and dropped, probably 12 inches dropped, and probably the crack is 60 foot long with at least 6 foot deep. So we're going to be taking out that whole side of a cliff and taking out that road. So just to put it out there, that road's closed till further notice.
This may be the first time in Wichita County history mudslide. Yeah.
Correct.
That's
But if it's
right.
going to happen, it'll happen precinct 2.
It usually does.
We'll figure it out.
I think you can order one of those at the bar. Not sure.
That's an ice cream. So,
Yeah.
One thing, I have a new staff member I'd like to introduce,
Okay.
Olivia. If y'all remember, a couple weeks back, we approved a new position for both indigent and veterans. Olivia is our,
Hi.
Very good.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Olivia.
I'm going on my second week here.
Great.
Well, we all have a bunch of questions that we need you to answer right now.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Adriana?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome to the county. Only thing I will say, thank you both for mentioning the closed roads, just as a public awareness. Just want to thank Sheriff's Office personnel. They've put in a lot of overtime doing monitoring and patrolling and just keeping tabs on things over the last week with the flooding or potential flooding and the flooding. Special thank you to fire department folks, City of Wichita Falls and our surrounding areas, as well as City of Wichita Falls Police Department and emergency management personnel with county, city. This last week was my first real experience in an emergency operations center, getting that spooled up and everything. And I will tell you, it has been heartening for me to see the level of cooperation that happens between city and county folks, but also as well as our partners at the state. Emergency management seems to be a thing that got down pretty well at those levels. And so just want to thank those people publicly. We're not out of the woods yet for this event, which we'll talk about when we get to an item here in general business. But a lot of people worked really hard over the last week to keep an eye on things, and just appreciate that. Do we have any other public comments this morning? Okay. It is 10:29 and public comment is closed. Let's move on to the consent agenda. There are 6 items on the consent agenda. Does anyone have any questions or comments about any of those items?
just to comment on item 5, the Nobalon. What that is an insurance finder service. So Right now, we have no way to search when an indigent client comes in to see if they have health insurance. Just looking at our average cost per client is about $6,500 a year. Finding one client that has health insurance will pay for this project entirely.
Yeah.
Do we find some that have it from time to time?
Well, we haven't had the ability to up till now. I mean, this is new, and most of the indigent health agencies across the state are joining up with this, so. Including Denton County. So just finding one, and we'll pay for it.
Alright.
And I suspect we will, just based on all of our other issues that we've had, so.
Yeah.
Motion to approve. Consent.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Kincannon, seconded by Commissioner Beecham to approve the consent agenda. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or any of those items? All right, that motion's before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 1 in general business, discuss, consider, and/or take action on extending, lapsing the disaster declaration from April 30th, 2025. So last week, in advance of the potential rainfall, thank you all, the potential rainfall and National Weather Service forecasts of the Wichita River getting to major flood stage and all of the associated things that come with that, I went ahead and signed a declaration of disaster for Wichita County. You all know this, I can do those for up to 7 days before Commissioners Court needs to approve it, or we need to let it lapse, or we need to terminate it. Neither Dwayne nor Lynn could be here this morning. I talked to both of them. They are of the opinion, and so am I, that we should keep this in place because, well, it's raining right now. The threshold for us to hit a disaster, it's got to be a little over $600,000. I'm hopeful that we don't have that level of damage on county roads, bridges, but if we do, we want to be able to take advantage of that. And this is not a event that's over. The effects of the water and flooding, especially on some of our county roads, are going to continue for probably another few days. And so I think it would be good for us to keep this and probably set a date, June 3rd. Do what?
Is a week enough, or just might as well go ahead and go?
Oh, I think we should do it until June 3rd. We can always come back and terminate it early if we need to, but that would essentially be a little less than a 30-day extension, give us time to get through this event, let our emergency management folks get with y'all, and if we have any private citizens who have any damage, to get all of that put together.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I mean, there's no downside to it
No.
at all that I can see.
Did you second that?
I did.
Mark did, okay.
And the citizens, I know I have some citizens that had some dams, pond dams and stuff that they've washed out, they've had to fix that. Can they also apply on that?
They need to, yeah, what they need to do is call our emergency management office. There's a system that, forget what it's called, iPass? Don't remember. There's a system that they can use to submit that report of damages, and it comes to our folks and they put all that together. So if they'll call our emergency management office, they can guide them through that.
Well, Judge, will, like Mickey's broken road, will it qualify, I mean, it will
Yep.
go in the mix
Yep,
as well?
it'll go in the mix as well. Dwayne and Lynn will be getting with y'all over the next week probably to get an inventory of your damages
Okay.
y'all suffered.
They've already been out taking pictures and measurements of all mine. It's pretty substantial. So, I don't know that it'll be, I pray that it won't be 600,000.
Right, and that's, I think we're all hopeful and fairly optimistic that it won't, but we don't know. And it also does, by keeping it in place, allow for resources to be mobilized if we need them if there is unexpected surge and some river flooding. So we've got a motion by Commissioner Mueller, seconded by Commissioner Beecham, to extend the declaration of disaster in Wichita County until June 3rd, 2025. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, that motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries 5-0. Thank you all. Item number 2, review and approve the regular bills for payment, verify payroll taxes have been filed, and order county treasurer to disperse payroll and/or bills within 72 hours via U.S. mail, FedEx, UPS, or electronically unless directed otherwise, or may be picked up and ledgered in the treasurer's office. I have a couple of notes on this. First, we've had our first tranche of safe room rebate checks go out to our folks. I think 5 on this batch. So, through no fault of any county personnel, it has been a slow process. But some money has been released, and we're hoping that means that things are moving. So I wanted to make that, just make sure y'all saw that. And then the second, the Iowa Park water bill, the mysterious Iowa Park water bill, is paid in this one. The city of Iowa Park ended up crediting $880 off of that amount as a leak rate, but it still left the adjusted amount at $4,297.54. Through no shortage of action on everybody's part, we ended up still not knowing what happened to the water. So,
That's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water, but
Yeah, way too much water. It's impossible.
at this point, though, I think we should probably pay our bill and move along. Like I said, they did take off about 17% of the bill. So those are the 2 items in the bills that I wanted to mention. Do you all have any questions or comments?
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Fincannon, seconded by Commissioner Mahler to approve, verify, and disperse. Have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, that motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same
Aye.
sign. There being 4 ayes and 1 nay is Commissioner Beecham, the motion carries. Item number 3, discuss, consider, and/or take action to approve and ratify the minutes of the April 29, 2025 regular session.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Fincannon, seconded by Commissioner Beecham, to ratify the minutes. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, that motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Could you hand me a Kleenex?
I'll hand it.
Thank you. Excuse me. All right, item number 4, discuss, consider, and/or take action to rescind court order 25.0415.204 and to approve enterprise fleet management quote number 8865251 in the amount of $53,664 for the purchase of a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 for the Wichita County Sheriff's Office to be paid from remaining monies from Senate Bill 22. Let me explain this one. After we approved the purchase of the truck out of SB 22 monies last month, Enterprise was no longer able to source from the manufacturers because they had closed their window for 2025 vehicles. As a result, they had to source through dealers, and there was a little bit more expensive. It was a little more expensive to do so. So what this item is rescinding that original court order and then authorizing the new amount for the purchase of the truck. Still coming out of SB 22 money. Still plenty of expected extra funds there to pay for it. But that's what we're doing.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Excuse me. Got a motion by Commissioner Mahler, seconded by Commissioner Watts to rescind court order 25.0415.024 and to approve enterprise quote 8865251 in the amount of $53,664 to be paid from remaining monies from Senate Bill 22.
And we do learn a lesson of timeliness here, don't
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize they closed the window so early in the year.
we? I never had any idea.
Any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, that motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 5, receive update on courthouse renovations and county courthouse annexes. Commissioner Beecham.
We have final punch walk on the courthouse project Thursday. So there's still a few remaining items left to be done. Rick's compiled the list, and we'll make sure those all get taken care of before we sign off on everything. Iowa Park, they were supposed to start the parking lot this week. Obviously, they're not. But they're starting flooring, et cetera, inside. We got Tommy's staff moved out yesterday, and so they're closed down for the time being at our park annex. But the project's moving along.
I know it introduced a delay of a little bit, but appreciate them and you and everyone working to make sure we could keep it open through election for Owl Park.
Yeah, it's a good move.
Was there an ETA on how long they think that office will be closed?
I
haven't heard of one.
couple weeks.
That's not bad.
Couple weeks.
As soon as they get the parking lot
So,
back together.
well, we can open it back up with the parking lot out. We
Okay.
can just park them on the street. It's just getting everything, the countertops replaced and the paint and everything in Tommy's area.
Which shouldn't take too terribly long.
No.
A couple of weeks, pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Any questions on item? All right. Well, it is 10:41. At this time, we will move into closed session for a briefing from the civil chief regarding architectural service contract requirements. This meeting is closed pursuant to Texas Government Code, Section 551.0712, consultation with attorney. If you are not authorized to be present for this closed session, I ask that you vacate the room at this time. It is 11:07 a.m. and we are back in open session. The only listed item here is take action as necessary on closed session items. I don't believe there is any action that needs to be taken this morning. All right, then it is 11:07 and court is adjourned.